True attraction isn't built on looks alone, it's in how you make him feel. Confidence draws him in, warmth makes him safe, and mystery keeps him chasing. When you embody these three behaviors, he doesn't just like you, he feels addicted to the connection only you create. Radiant confidence is not about arrogance, nor is it about being the loudest person in the room. It's about the quiet assurance that you know who you are, what you bring to the table, and what you deserve. When a woman walks into a space with radiant confidence, she doesn't need to demand attention. Attention naturally shifts toward her. It's magnetic because people are drawn to someone who feels at home in their own skin. A man who encounters this kind of confidence doesn't just admire it, he finds himself craving more of it because it makes him feel both inspired and challenged at the same time. Confidence becomes radiant when it's paired with grace. It's not about announcing your worth, it's about living it in the way you carry yourself, the way you smile, the way you hold eye contact without flinching, and the way you set boundaries without apology. This type of confidence tells him that your life is already rich and fulfilling, with or without him, and that if he wants to be part of it, he has to rise to the level of your standards. That realization alone can be addictive, because it pushes him to become a better version of himself. What makes radiant confidence so beautiful is that it doesn't only elevate you, it elevates the entire connection. When you believe in your value, you don't second-guess every text he sends, you don't shrink when there's silence, and you don't bend yourself to fit into his expectations. Instead, you become the one setting the tone of the interaction. You laugh freely, you express your opinions without fear, and you hold your ground when something doesn't align with your values. This creates a sense of certainty in the relationship because he knows exactly where he stands with you, and that certainty makes you unforgettable. Men are deeply attracted to women who project self-assurance because it reassures them that the relationship isn't based on insecurity or desperation. There's a calm power in knowing you don't have to fight for love. You simply allow it to flow toward you naturally. Radiant confidence communicates, without words, that you are already complete. You don't need him to fill an emptiness, you want him to share in your fullness. That difference changes everything, because men don't become addicted to women who are dependent on them. They become addicted to women who inspire them, who challenge them, who make them feel lucky to be chosen. Radiant confidence also shows up in the small details. The way you walk into a room with your head held high, the way you laugh at yourself instead of worrying about perfection, the way you move through life with ease even when things don't go your way. These small signals tell him that you trust yourself, that you're capable of handling life, and that you don't crumble under pressure. That steadiness is intoxicating, because it makes him feel he has found someone rare, a woman who not only knows her value, but lives it unapologetically. Playful mystery is one of the most powerful ways to keep a man intrigued because it creates a sense of curiosity that never fully settles. When someone feels they already know everything about you, the excitement begins to fade. But when you hold a little bit back, when you allow him to discover you layer by layer, he feels compelled to keep coming closer. This isn't about playing games, it's about allowing the natural intrigue of who you are to shine, without giving it all away too quickly. A man becomes addicted to the chase of mystery because it awakens a fundamental instinct, the desire to explore. When you share just enough to connect, but not so much that he feels there's nothing left to learn, you keep his attention locked on you. You become like a book he can't put down, always eager to turn the next page. The key is balance. If you share too little, you seem distant. If you share too much, the story ends too soon. But when you combine openness with restraint, he finds himself thinking about you even when you're not around. Playful mystery also shows up in the way you interact with him. Instead of answering every question directly, you might tease him with a smile, give a witty reply, or let him work a little harder to get the full story. You bring an element of surprise into the relationship, whether it's through your sense of humor, the way you playfully challenge him, or the way you shift from being light-hearted one moment to deeply thoughtful the next. This unpredictability keeps him on his toes and makes every encounter feel fresh. What's beautiful about Playful Mystery is that it doesn't just keep him interested, it keeps you empowered. By not revealing everything right away, you protect your own energy and create space for trust to develop naturally. You show him that your world is vast, that you have dreams, passions, and experiences that he will have to earn the right to know. That process makes him value you more deeply because anything that takes effort feels more rewarding. He begins to realize that your story is not one he can simply skim. He has to dive in fully if he wants to understand it. Mystery isn't about hiding who you are, it's about pacing the revelation of your truth. Think about how you feel when watching a great movie or reading a powerful novel. You're hooked because you don't know what's coming next. That same energy applies in relationships. When you're unpredictable, playful, and willing to keep some parts of yourself unfolding over time, you become unforgettable. He doesn't just want to be with you, he wants to uncover more of you. In the end, Playful Mystery makes him addicted, not only because of what you reveal, but because of what you hold back. You allow him the joy of discovery, the thrill of pursuit, and the satisfaction of knowing that even after months or years, there will always be more to explore. That feeling is what keeps a man endlessly captivated and drawn back to you, again and again. Feminine warmth is the quality that makes a man feel like he has stepped into a safe space, a place where his guard can finally come down. In a world that constantly demands strength, competition, and control from him, your warmth becomes a contrast he cannot resist. It's not about being overly accommodating or sacrificing your boundaries. It's about bringing a softness and kindness into the connection that makes him feel seen, accepted, and valued. When he experiences that, it becomes addictive, because it's rare. Warmth is communicated not just through words, but through tone, presence, and energy. It's in the way you listen without judgment, the way you smile when he talks, the gentle touches that reassure him, and the compassion you show when he's vulnerable. These small gestures may seem subtle, but they have a profound effect. Men often find it difficult to open up, so when they feel your warmth, it gives them permission to let go of the armor they carry. That release is liberating, and it makes him associate you with peace, a peace he doesn't want to lose. Feminine warmth is also powerful because it makes love feel easy. It's not about drama, conflict, or constant testing. It's about creating a space where joy can flourish. When you laugh with him, when you share affection without overthinking, when you show patience in moments of misunderstanding, you make him feel like being with you isn't just exciting, it's comforting. And excitement fades without comfort, but comfort makes excitement sustainable. That balance is what draws him back to you, again and again. What many people forget is that warmth doesn't equal weakness. It's not about letting someone walk all over you. In fact, warmth combined with confidence is irresistible. You're kind, but not a pushover. You're compassionate, but not naive. You're understanding, but you don't tolerate disrespect. This makes him realize that your warmth is a gift, not a given. It's something he must honor and protect if he wants to keep it in his life. That awareness makes him appreciate you even more. Another reason warmth is so addictive is that it connects to one of the deepest human desires, the need to feel accepted. A man can get admiration from his career, respect from his peers, and attention from others, but very few places give him unconditional acceptance. When your warmth shows him that you see both his strengths and his flaws, yet choose to embrace him, he feels a sense of belonging that cannot be replicated. And belonging is one of the most powerful emotions in love. Feminine warmth is like a light. It doesn't shout for attention. It simply shines, and in doing so, it illuminates everything around it. A man who feels your warmth isn't just attracted to you, he feels anchored by you. He feels that his soul can rest with you. And once a man has experienced that, he will chase it for as long as he can, because it becomes something he cannot imagine living without. Unpredictable energy is the spark that keeps a relationship alive, the element that prevents things from slipping into routine and predictability. It's the reason why, in the early stages of a connection, everything feels so exciting, because there's discovery, surprise, and spontaneity. When you bring this energy into your interactions, you ensure that the relationship never loses its vibrancy. A man becomes addicted to this because it keeps him guessing, keeps him engaged, and makes him feel like every day with you could hold something new. This doesn't mean you have to constantly be dramatic or over the top. Unpredictable energy can be as simple as changing the rhythm of how you interact. Sometimes you're playful and teasing, sometimes you're deeply reflective, sometimes you suggest doing something completely out of the ordinary. It might be as small as surprising him with a text that makes him laugh during his stressful day, or as bold as taking him on an unplanned adventure. These moments break the monotony of routine and remind him that being with you is never stale. Men are naturally drawn to challenge, and unpredictability keeps that instinct alive. If he feels like he knows exactly what to expect from you at all times, his attention can begin to drift. But when you introduce variety through your humor, your energy, or your willingness to embrace the unexpected, you keep him engaged in the relationship. He finds himself leaning in, wanting to see what you'll do next, and that anticipation becomes addictive. Unpredictable energy also shows him that you're not living your life according to a rigid script. You're not someone who needs to control every detail. Instead, you flow with life, and that flexibility is incredibly attractive. It signals confidence, because only someone secure in themselves can handle spontaneity without fear. And when he experiences that, he feels inspired to loosen up as well. You make him feel alive, and that's something no one wants to let go of once they've tasted it. Another layer of unpredictable energy is the way you express yourself emotionally. It doesn't mean being inconsistent or unstable, but it does mean showing different sides of your personality. You can be silly and light-hearted in one moment, then deeply soulful in the next. You can surprise him with your passions, your creativity, or your boldness. This keeps him intrigued because he realizes there is always more to learn about you. The mystery of your depth makes him lean in rather than pull away. At the heart of it, unpredictable energy is about keeping the relationship fresh. It's about never letting him feel like he's figured you out entirely, but always in a way that excites rather than frustrates him. When you embody this, he doesn't just want to be around you, he feels compelled to be around you. You become the highlight of his days, the person who brings color into his world. And once a man associates you with that feeling, he will crave it endlessly because life with you doesn't feel ordinary, it feels extraordinary. Respectful boundaries are one of the most magnetic and attractive behaviors you can bring into a relationship because they communicate self-worth in the clearest way possible. When you establish what you will and will not accept, you send a silent but powerful message. You respect yourself too much to tolerate anything less than the love and treatment you deserve. That stance doesn't push a man away. It draws him in because it shows him that your love is valuable and must be earned. Boundaries are not about building walls or keeping people out. They are about guiding others on how to treat you. When you enforce them with grace, they actually create more intimacy, not less. A man feels secure knowing where the lines are because it gives the relationship structure and clarity. Without boundaries, relationships drift into confusion, where resentment and imbalance quietly grow. With boundaries, there's honesty, fairness, and respect is one of the deepest roots of attraction. What makes respectful boundaries addictive is the way they raise a man's perception of your value. Think about it. If someone says yes to everything, if they accept poor behavior or compromise their needs just to keep the peace, it doesn't inspire admiration. It often breeds complacency. But when you calmly say no to what doesn't align with your standards, when you walk away from disrespect, or when you don't chase after someone who isn't showing up for you, it forces him to step up if he wants to keep you in his life. That challenge ignites his drive and makes him respect you more deeply. Boundaries also protect your energy, and that in itself is attractive. A woman who isn't drained from giving endlessly without return radiates a certain lightness and confidence. You're able to bring joy, laughter, and warmth into the relationship because you haven't let yourself be depleted. He feels that difference. He feels the balance of giving and receiving, and it makes him appreciate the relationship more because it feels healthy and sustainable. The beauty of respectful boundaries is that they can be set without hostility. They don't have to come with anger or ultimatums. They can be delivered with kindness, calm, and certainty. It's as simple as saying, "That doesn't work for me," or "I need something different here." The way you communicate them, with respect for yourself and for him, makes the connection stronger, not weaker. He sees that you know your worth, but you're not trying to control or punish him. That balance is rare, and it makes him feel safe as well as challenged. When a man experiences a woman with strong, respectful boundaries, he doesn't just feel attracted, he feels invested. He knows that being with you is a privilege, not a right. And that sense of privilege keeps him engaged, keeps him working for your love, and keeps him from ever taking you for granted. Respectful boundaries are the invisible framework that holds desire, admiration, and long-term commitment together. They make him realize that your love is special, and once he has it, he will fight to never lose it. Emotional depth is the quality that transforms attraction into connection, and turns a casual bond into something unforgettable. When you bring emotional depth into a relationship, you're not just skimming the surface. You're inviting him into a world of meaning, vulnerability, and authenticity. This is the part of you that makes him feel like he isn't just dating someone fun or attractive, but someone he can truly connect with on a soul level. And once a man experiences that kind of depth, it's impossible for him to walk away unchanged. Emotional depth shows up when you allow yourself to be real, not perfect. It's in the moments when you share your passions, your dreams, your struggles, and your truths without hiding behind a mask. It's not about oversharing or pouring out every detail of your life, but about opening a window into who you are beyond appearances. When you let him see your authentic self, the parts that laugh, cry, hope, and grow, it creates intimacy that physical attraction alone can never achieve. For a man, emotional depth is addictive because it makes him feel like he can open up too. Many men are conditioned to hold back their feelings, to hide behind strength, or to avoid being vulnerable. But when he's with someone who has emotional depth, he feels safe enough to share his fears, his insecurities, and his desires without judgment. That exchange of vulnerability becomes a bond stronger than any chemistry. He doesn't just want to be around you, he feels understood by you, and that is a rare and powerful gift. Emotional depth also means you don't settle for shallow connections. You're not satisfied with small talk forever. You want to know what drives him, what shaped him, what he dreams about when no one else is listening. You bring conversations that matter, moments that stick, and reflections that linger in his mind long after you've parted. He starts to associate you with meaning, with growth, and with a sense of being truly alive. That association is what keeps him coming back, because life with you feels richer and more purposeful. At the same time, emotional depth doesn't mean constant heaviness. It means range. You can be playful and light, but you can also go deep when the moment calls for it. You show that you can hold space for joy as well as pain, for laughter as well as silence. That ability to navigate different emotional layers makes him realize that being with you is never one-dimensional. You offer him a connection that engages his heart, mind, and spirit all at once. Emotional depth is what turns love into something lasting. Looks, charm, and attraction may draw him in, but depth is what keeps him there. It's the difference between being remembered for a moment and being unforgettable for a lifetime. When a man feels that your connection has layers, he'll never fully stop exploring. He doesn't just want you, he becomes devoted to the bond you share. And that devotion, born out of emotional depth, is the foundation of a love that feels irreplaceable. Positive vibes are the atmosphere you bring with you into every interaction, and they have the power to completely change the way someone feels in your presence. When a man associates you with lightness, joy, and energy that uplifts him, you become a source of relief in his life rather than another weight to carry. That feeling is rare, and once he experiences it, he naturally craves more of it. People don't always remember the exact words you say, but they never forget how you made them feel. And when you consistently make him feel good, that's what creates addiction. Positive vibes don't mean you're smiling all the time or pretending life is perfect. Instead, they come from an underlying resilience and an attitude that refuses to dwell on negativity. It's in the way you approach challenges with perspective, the way you laugh at yourself instead of being self-critical, and the way you find small joys in everyday moments. This energy is magnetic because it makes him feel like life with you is brighter and more enjoyable. When the world is heavy, your presence feels like a break from the storm. Men, like anyone else, deal with stress, pressure, and responsibility every day. They are drawn to women who bring ease into their lives, not unnecessary drama or chaos. When you radiate positive vibes, you remind him that life doesn't have to be so serious all the time. Your laughter, your optimism, and your playful side allow him to relax and simply enjoy being in the moment. That escape is powerful because it gives him a contrast to the tension he often feels in other areas of life. Another aspect of positive vibes is encouragement. When you celebrate his wins, support his growth, and believe in his potential, you create an environment where he feels motivated to be better. Your energy becomes a fuel that pushes him forward, and he comes to value not just your presence, but the impact you have on his life. He begins to feel that being with you makes him a stronger, happier version of himself, and that realization makes your bond irresistible. What's beautiful about positive vibes is that they are contagious. When you bring light into the relationship, he naturally mirrors that energy back. Conversations become more engaging, time together feels lighter, and even challenges are easier to navigate because the overall tone is hopeful instead of heavy. Over time, this creates a relationship dynamic that feels healthy and inspiring, one that he doesn't want to lose. Positive vibes are about choosing how you show up. You don't control every situation, but you do control your energy. When you walk into a room with a smile, when you listen with genuine interest, when you focus on solutions rather than problems, you set yourself apart. A man who experiences that kind of energy doesn't just feel attracted, he feels addicted. He sees you as the person who lifts him, who makes life better, and who brings joy no matter the circumstance. And that is a feeling he will fight to keep close. Subtle admiration is one of the most overlooked yet powerful behaviors that make a man feel deeply connected to you. It's not about showering him with constant praise or inflating his ego. It's about noticing and appreciating the things that matter in a way that feels genuine and understated. Men, like women, crave recognition. They want to feel valued for who they are, not just for what they provide. When you express admiration in small, thoughtful ways, you feed that desire without making it feel forced or excessive. The beauty of subtle admiration is in its authenticity. It's when you acknowledge the effort he puts into his work, the way he handles a difficult situation, or even the unique quirks of his personality. A simple, "I love how you handled that," or "I really admire the way you think about things," goes much further than over-the-top flattery. It feels real, and because it's understated, it carries more weight. He knows you mean it, and when a man feels seen for his strengths, he feels a sense of pride that ties directly to you. What makes subtle admiration so addictive is that it speaks to a man's core need, to feel respected and appreciated. Love and attraction are important, but admiration hits differently. It validates his identity. When he feels that you admire him, he doesn't just enjoy being with you, he feels stronger, more capable, and more valued in your presence. That emotional high becomes something he can't easily walk away from, because it ties his sense of worth to the connection he has with you. Subtle admiration also has the power to inspire. When you highlight qualities you appreciate in him, it motivates him to live up to them even more. If you say, "I love how focused you are when you care about something," it encourages him to embody that strength consistently. It's not manipulation, it's the natural effect of recognition. People often grow into the qualities that others reflect back to them. By admiring his best traits, you bring out more of them, and he feels proud to show up as the man you already see in him. But subtle admiration is never about pretending or exaggerating. It's about choosing to notice. Instead of taking his efforts for granted, you pause to acknowledge them. If he opens the door for you, if he makes you laugh, if he listens when you need support, these moments may seem small, but when you genuinely recognize them, he feels valued. And what's rare is treasured. Many men go through life without much appreciation, so when they find it in you, it becomes unforgettable. In the end, subtle admiration is not about worshipping him. It's about creating a balance. You show appreciation without losing your own sense of value. You make him feel like the man he wants to be, while still standing firmly in your confidence and standards. That combination is magnetic. It makes him associate you with the best version of himself, and that's something he will always crave, because admiration, when genuine and understated, doesn't just make him feel good, it makes him feel deeply connected to you in a way that keeps him coming back for more. Self-sufficiency is one of the most magnetic traits you can embody, because it shows that your happiness and fulfillment are not dependent on anyone else. It communicates that you are whole, that you are capable, and that while you may want a relationship, you don't need one to survive. This subtle but powerful distinction is what makes a man feel both drawn to you and challenged by you. When you are self-sufficient, you send the message, "I choose you, but I don't rely on you for my sense of worth." That choice, freely made, is what makes your love so valuable. Men are naturally captivated by women who have their own lives, passions, and purpose. When you pursue your career, nurture your friendships, and enjoy hobbies that light you up, you create an aura of independence that is deeply attractive. It tells him that you're not waiting for him to bring meaning into your life. You've already built that meaning yourself. Instead of being your whole world, he becomes a part of it, and that difference is crucial. He feels inspired to add to your happiness rather than feeling burdened with the responsibility of creating it. Self-sufficiency doesn't mean you reject help or shut people out. It means you know how to stand on your own 2 feet. You don't cling out of fear, and you don't chase validation to feel worthy. You're confident in your ability to take care of yourself, to make decisions, and to build a life you love. That quiet confidence is magnetic because it communicates strength without arrogance. He sees that you're capable of thriving with or without him, and paradoxically, that makes him want to be with you even more. Another reason self-sufficiency is addictive is that it creates balance in the relationship. When 2 people are overly dependent on each other for their happiness, the bond can feel heavy, draining, and suffocating. But when you bring your own sense of fulfillment, the relationship becomes a place of joy rather than obligation. He looks forward to spending time with you because it feels like a bonus, not a duty. You're not asking him to complete you, you're inviting him to share in the richness of your already full life. That perspective makes you stand out in a world where many are searching for someone else to fill their emptiness. Self-sufficiency also gives you the strength to walk away when necessary. You're not trapped by fear of being alone because you know you can create happiness for yourself. That strength makes him respect you deeply. It shows him that if he wants to stay in your life, it must be because he adds value, not because you can't live without him. That respect is one of the key ingredients to lasting attraction, because admiration and desire go hand in hand. Self-sufficiency is freedom. It's freedom for you, because you live without fear of losing yourself in someone else. And it's freedom for him, because he feels chosen, not needed. That dynamic is what makes him addicted, not because you depend on him, but because you don't. Your independence challenges him, excites him, and makes him see you as a rare partner who is strong on her own, yet still open to love. And once he experiences that balance, he'll never want to let it go. Sensual presence is the subtle but undeniable energy that makes a man feel completely captivated by you without you ever having to try too hard. It's not about being overtly sexual or putting on an act. It's about the way you carry yourself, the way you move, and the way you create an atmosphere of connection that engages all his senses. When a woman embodies sensual presence, she communicates allure through the smallest details, the way she makes eye contact, the softness in her voice, the grace in her posture, or the light touch that lingers just long enough to spark curiosity. These tiny, seemingly effortless gestures ignite something primal, making him feel both drawn to you and alive in your presence. What makes sensual presence so addictive is that it's rooted in authenticity. It's not about trying to be someone you're not. It's about fully inhabiting your own body and allowing your natural energy to shine through. When you walk with confidence, when you own the space you're in, when you take your time instead of rushing, you project an aura of calm magnetism that draws him closer. He doesn't just notice your appearance, he feels your energy. It's that unspoken signal that keeps him intrigued because it makes every moment with you feel charged with possibility. Sensual presence is also about mindfulness. When you're fully present in the moment, when you give your full attention to him instead of being distracted, it creates intensity. A simple conversation feels more intimate because your eyes hold his, your smile is genuine, and your body language shows you're engaged. He feels special in those moments because your energy is focused entirely on him. That presence, combined with the warmth of your feminine energy, makes him feel deeply connected and completely hooked. Another layer of sensual presence is the way you embrace your femininity without apology. It could be the way you dress, the way you laugh, the way you tilt your head when you're curious, or the way you express affection through touch. These natural expressions of who you are send signals that bypass his logical mind and speak directly to his emotions and instincts. He may not even be able to explain why he feels so drawn to you. He just knows he does. That mystery makes the connection even more powerful because it feels less like a choice and more like a pull he can't resist. What makes sensual presence even more powerful is its unpredictability. Sometimes it shows up in playful teasing, sometimes in quiet intimacy, sometimes in the way you walk away with a smile that lingers in his thoughts long after you've gone. This variety keeps the dynamic alive, ensuring he never takes your energy for granted. He's addicted not just to your beauty, but to the feeling you awaken in him every time you're near. Sensual presence is less about what you do and more about who you are when you embrace yourself fully. When you move through life with ease, confidence, and an openness to connection, you radiate an energy that is impossible to ignore. A man who experiences that doesn't just want to be with you. He becomes enchanted by you. He feels more alive, more connected, and more inspired in your presence. And that is a feeling he will chase for as long as he can. At the heart of everything we've explored lies one simple truth. A man doesn't become addicted to you because of fleeting charm, surface-level beauty, or temporary excitement. He becomes addicted when he feels something deeper, when he feels alive, challenged, safe, admired, inspired, and irresistibly drawn back to the energy only you create. Radiant confidence makes him see you as a woman who knows her worth. Playful mystery keeps him curious and excited to uncover more of you. Feminine warmth gives him a safe place where his heart can finally rest. Unpredictable energy ensures he never stops chasing, while respectful boundaries make him rise to meet your standards. Emotional depth turns attraction into true intimacy, and positive vibes make your presence the highlight of his days. Subtle admiration makes him feel valued. Self-sufficiency makes him respect you, and sensual presence makes him feel enchanted in ways he can't explain. Each of these behaviors on their own is powerful, but together they form a presence he cannot walk away from. You don't need to force love or chase validation. You simply become the woman who embodies these beautiful qualities, and the right man will not only notice, he will feel compelled to hold on to you. Because in the end, addiction in love isn't about control. It's about creating a connection so meaningful, so inspiring, and so unforgettable that he never wants to imagine his life without you. That is the power you hold when you step fully into who you are.